I remember when I was young, folks would tell me that walking every day was the key to a long life. And for a while, I believed it too. I thought if I just keep putting one foot in front of the other, I'd surely reach 90 and beyond. But as the years passed and I grew older, I began to see that walking less, but doing certain other things, made a bigger difference to my health and how long I lived. I'm not saying to stop moving entirely. What I'm saying is that there are smarter, kinder ways to care for this old body of ours that don't wear us down the way endless walking can. I want to share with you 5 powerful alternatives I discovered. They helped me, and I hope they help you live not just longer, but better. When I first felt my knees ache more after my daily walks, I started to question the wisdom of pounding pavement every day. My joints, once strong and sturdy, began sending sharp reminders that time was moving, and so was the wear on me. I realized that forcing myself to walk long distances without rest wasn't the answer. It wasn't about moving more, but about moving right. Walking less doesn't mean giving up on health. It means choosing other activities that nurture your body gently and bring the joy back into your days. The first thing I learned is the power of stretching. I used to think stretching was just for athletes or young folks warming up before a run, but for us older souls, it's a lifeline. Taking even just 10 minutes a day to stretch keeps the muscles supple and the joints flexible. It's not about pushing hard or feeling pain. It's about honoring the body we have, listening to it, and gently loosening it so it doesn't seize up. Stretching helps with balance too, which is something we all need to be mindful of as we age. I started doing simple stretches in the morning and before bed, and it made a world of difference in how I felt. My muscles relaxed, my stiffness faded, and I moved more freely without forcing my tired legs to walk endless miles. Now let me tell you about the second powerful alternative. It's strength training. I know many seniors shy away from it, thinking weights and lifting are for younger people. But that's a myth that cost me years of good health before I dared to try. Building strength through light resistance exercises protects our bones from breaking and helps keep the muscles that support us strong. You don't need heavy equipment or a gym membership. I use simple resistance bands and even household items like water bottles for weights. This kind of training keeps your body sturdy and less prone to falls. It's like giving your bones and muscles a gentle reminder that they're still needed and still capable. When I started lifting little by little, my posture improved. I felt more confident standing up and sitting down without feeling weak or shaky. The third thing I embraced was mindful breathing and meditation. Now, this may sound like it has little to do with walking less, but hear me out. Stress is a silent thief of health. The more we stress, the faster our bodies wear out. When I slowed down my steps, I also slowed down my mind. Sitting quietly, focusing on my breath, I found peace. It's amazing how a few minutes of deep, slow breathing calms the heart, lowers blood pressure, and makes the body more resilient. This practice gave me the patience to listen to my body instead of forcing it to keep pace with my younger self. It helped me manage pain better and sleep more deeply, both crucial for longevity. I didn't have to walk miles to find peace. I found it inside. Fourth is the power of balance exercises. Falls are one of the biggest threats to seniors, and walking endlessly without balance can increase the risk. I discovered simple exercises that strengthened my core and improved my stability without tiring me out. Standing on one foot, practicing slow turns, and even Tai Chi movements gave me a sense of control over my body. I didn't need to exhaust myself with long walks to feel alive. These balance exercises protected me from the dangers of falls and gave me confidence to move around safely, even in my late 80s. Lastly, I want to speak about the importance of rest and recovery. This is something I wish I had understood better when I was younger. We think moving more always equals better health, but our bodies need time to heal. Walking less means giving space for rest, which allows muscles to repair and energy to renew. I learned to listen carefully to when my body needed a break instead of pushing through tiredness. Naps, gentle massages, and good sleep became as vital to me as any exercise. The difference it made in my mood and vitality was astonishing. Longevity is not just about doing more. It's about knowing when to pause, to honor the rhythm of life that changes as we age. So why walk less and live to 90? Because it's not the quantity of steps that counts, but the quality of movement and care we give ourselves. We don't have to exhaust our bodies with long walks every day. We can choose to move in ways that build strength, flexibility, balance, and peace. We can breathe deeply and rest fully. These alternatives help me feel younger than my years and kept me independent longer than I expected. I've seen friends who insisted on walking miles daily, ignoring their aching joints, only to end up with injuries that forced them to stop altogether. It breaks my heart to watch good people push too hard and then suffer for it. We have to be smarter than that. We have to listen to what our bodies tell us, even when it means walking less than before. The truth is, walking endlessly isn't the secret to longevity. Instead, balancing movement with rest, strength, balance, and calm makes all the difference. If you take one thing from my experience, let it be this: don't measure your worth or your health by the miles you walk. Measure it by how you feel, how you move without pain, how steady you stand, and how peaceful your mind is. Walking less doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing the right kinds of movement that keep your spirit and body strong for the long haul. Living to 90 and beyond is not about forcing your body to keep up with a younger you. It's about adapting to what your body needs now. And what it needs is care, respect, and smart choices. Embrace stretching to stay flexible. Build strength gently to stay sturdy. Breathe deeply and calm your mind to reduce stress. Practice balance to avoid falls. And give yourself the gift of rest to heal and renew. These are the 5 powerful alternatives that help me live longer, healthier, and happier. So, if you want to live to 90 or more, don't just keep walking because it's what everyone says. Walk less, yes, but do these things instead. Your body will thank you. Your days will be fuller. Your years will be richer. And you will live not just longer, but better. That is the wisdom I have earned through the years, and I share it with you now, hoping it lights your path as it did mine. Now let's clear some common questions. How do social engagement and community activities factor into the longevity and health of seniors beyond physical exercise? My friend, sit down beside me and let me share what many years and many seasons have taught me about the true wellspring of a long and vibrant life. You see, it is easy to think that the secret to lasting health in our golden years is solely tied to how often we move our bodies or how diligently we tend to our physical exercise. But that, my dear one, is only part of the story. Life, especially in its later chapters, is a tapestry woven not just of muscles and bones, but of connections and purpose, of laughter and shared moments. Social engagement and community activities are the quiet, powerful forces that breathe vitality into the soul, and through it into the very essence of our longevity and well-being. Now imagine a garden. You might water it, feed it, tend to the soil, but if it stands isolated from the sun, the wind, and the buzzing life around it, it will struggle. It will lack the fullness that comes from being part of a larger ecosystem. So it is with us humans. We are born to belong, to interact, and to grow in the fertile soil of companionship and community. When I look back on my own journey, I see clearly how my years were enriched not just by walking, stretching, or lifting, but by the simple joy of being with others, sharing stories, lending a hand, and receiving warmth in return. You may ask why such social connections have this profound effect. The answer lies deep in our nature. Our brains are wired for interaction. When we engage with others, we stimulate areas of our mind that keep us sharp and alert. The conversations we have, the debates we enjoy, the laughter that bubbles up in group settings, all of these activities ignite a cascade of positive responses within our bodies. Chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin surge, lifting our mood and soothing the stresses that so often weigh heavily on older shoulders. This emotional upliftment is no small thing. It affects the heart, the immune system, and yes, even the longevity of our lives. In my community, I have witnessed countless elders who might have had physical ailments yet remained radiant and spirited because their social lives were rich. They would gather for card games, community meals, or simply to chat on the porch as the sun dipped low. These moments, seemingly small and ordinary, created a framework of support and belonging that made the hard days easier to bear. When the mind and heart stay engaged, the body often follows. And even if the body falters, the spirit remains resilient and alive. You see, when seniors participate in community activities, they gain more than companionship. They gain a sense of purpose. The feeling that one is still needed, that one's wisdom and experience matter, is a powerful medicine. It fuels a will to live and to thrive. There is something deeply human about feeling useful and valued, something that no pill or exercise routine can replicate. I remember old Mr. Thompson, who despite his creaky knees, would lead the local history club with passion. His eyes would sparkle as he shared tales from days long past. And I swear, those gatherings kept his mind as keen as a hawk's. It was that social spark, that engagement with his community, that kept him going strong long after many others had faded. Loneliness and isolation, on the other hand, are like shadows that creep slowly and drain the life from the brightest of souls. Many studies, and my own eyes have witnessed, show how a lack of social interaction can accelerate cognitive decline and contribute to feelings of depression and hopelessness. This is not simply about being around people, but about meaningful connections. Being seen, heard, and understood feeds the soul. And when seniors find themselves cut off from such connections, their health often suffers in ways that exercise alone cannot fix. In this light, community activities become a lifeline. Whether it is joining a choir, volunteering at the local library, or simply participating in a weekly book club, these engagements offer seniors the chance to stay mentally active, emotionally supported, and physically stimulated in a gentle, joyful manner. The camaraderie found in shared goals and common interests builds resilience. It teaches the body to keep moving, yes, but more importantly, it teaches the heart to keep hoping and dreaming. The energy that flows from social participation also encourages better habits. When surrounded by friends who care, seniors are more likely to eat well, keep appointments, and seek help when needed. They find encouragement to tackle challenges rather than retreat from them. The spirit of camaraderie becomes a shield against the weariness that often accompanies aging. And then there is the simple magic of laughter. Oh, how powerful laughter is! It is medicine in its purest form. When we laugh together, barriers fall away, worries lighten, and for a moment, the heaviness of age is lifted. I have seen once withdrawn neighbors transformed by the gentle humor and shared joy found in community gatherings. That uplift carries with it physical benefits too. Laughter lowers blood pressure, boosts the immune system, and releases endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. It is no exaggeration to say that a hearty laugh with friends can add precious moments, even years, to our lives. Perhaps one of the most beautiful aspects of social engagement is its ability to create a legacy. When seniors participate in community activities, they become teachers, mentors, and role models. They pass on traditions, stories, and wisdom to younger generations, weaving a fabric of continuity and meaning. This sense of contributing to something larger than oneself infuses life with a profound joy and satisfaction that can be as vital as any physical regimen. To live long and well is not merely to survive, but to flourish. And flourishing means more than a strong body. It means a mind that remains curious, a heart that remains open, and a spirit that continues to dance with life. I have learned that the moments shared over a cup of tea with friends, the warmth of a hand held in hard times, and the sparkle of eyes and laughter are the treasures that truly sustain us. Exercise strengthens the body, yes, but social engagement and community activities nourish the soul. So my dear one, as you or your loved ones walk the path of aging, remember this: invite connection. Seek out those who share your interests and values. Do not underestimate the power of a friendly visit or the joy of a shared meal. Let your heart remain open to new friendships, for it is in these bonds that the richest health and longest life are often found. Life, after all, is not a solitary journey, but a shared adventure. And the road traveled with others by our side is the road that carries us farthest, with the most joy and with the deepest health beyond what exercise alone can provide. What psychological barriers or misconceptions prevent seniors from adopting these alternatives to walking? Ah, my dear friend, come closer and let me speak plainly about something I have seen time and again among those of us who have walked many miles on this earth. When the years begin to settle in and the body sends its familiar creaks and whispers, many seniors cling to what feels safest and most familiar. Walking. Yes, walking is a trusty companion. It is simple, accessible, and familiar. But there are many other ways to keep moving, to stay healthy, and to nourish the spirit. Yet, strangely enough, many elders shy away from these alternatives. Why? What is it that holds them back? You see, it is often not the body but the mind that builds walls and places limits on what could be embraced. Psychological barriers and misconceptions weave their invisible chains, and I have witnessed how these keep good people from exploring the richness of movement beyond just putting one foot in front of the other. One of the most powerful barriers I have observed is fear. Fear wrapped tightly around change like a cloak. It is a natural thing, especially for those who have lived long enough to have experienced their share of pain and loss. Trying something new feels risky. What if I fall? What if I can't do it right? What if others laugh or judge me? These questions swirl in the mind and tighten the grip of hesitation. And so seniors often retreat to walking because it feels safe, a known territory. It is as if the unknown alternatives, whether gentle stretching, seated exercises, or even activities like Tai Chi, become mountains too steep to climb. But the irony is that this fear itself can lead to more stiffness, more isolation, and even a quicker decline in health. Alongside fear lies a stubborn misconception about what it means to exercise or be active. Many elders grew up with a very narrow view of physical activity. To them, exercise was hard labor, heavy lifting, or long hours of sweaty work. If it wasn't tough, it wasn't worth doing. This old-fashioned idea makes gentler or different forms of movement seem frivolous or ineffective. They think, if I'm not breaking a sweat or pounding the pavement, then it's not really exercise. This belief keeps many from embracing activities that are perfectly suited for aging bodies. Those that improve balance, flexibility, and mental well-being without the harshness of a rigorous workout. They undervalue the grace of slow and mindful movement, dismissing it as just stretching rather than a powerful tool for longevity. Another barrier is pride. Oh yes, pride can be a double-edged sword. Seniors often want to hold on to their independence and dignity, and admitting that they need to try something different feels like admitting weakness. They may resist aids like seated exercises or even community classes, fearing it marks them as frail or incapable. There is a quiet but strong desire to maintain the image of strength and self-reliance. This pride sometimes creates an invisible wall where the individual tells themselves they can manage on their own, that they don't need help or new methods. Yet ironically, this very pride can lead to isolation and missed opportunities for growth and connection. Closely related to pride is a kind of resignation that settles in with age. It whispers, "I'm old now. This is just how it is. Nothing new will help." This defeatist attitude steals hope and motivation. It convinces many that it is too late to try anything different, that the body and mind are beyond repair or improvement. I have known folks who simply stopped seeking alternatives because they believed their best days were behind them. But that, my friend, is a cruel misconception. The human spirit is capable of renewal at any age. It just needs the invitation and the gentle encouragement to break free from those limiting beliefs. Technology, believe it or not, also plays a surprising role in this resistance. We live in a time when so many activities are enhanced by digital tools, videos, apps, virtual classes, but many seniors feel left behind by the rapid pace of modern technology. They fear it will be too complicated or confusing. This fear can prevent them from accessing guided exercises or connecting with supportive communities online. And without those tools, alternatives to walking remain out of reach or invisible. The digital divide becomes a psychological barrier, one that leaves many feeling isolated from the very resources that could enrich their lives. Social comparison is another silent barrier. Seniors often compare themselves to others who seem more active or healthier and feel discouraged. They might say, "I can't do what they do. I'm too old or too slow." This negative self-talk erodes confidence and saps the courage to try something new. The feeling of being less than others can make it easier to stick with familiar routines, even if those routines no longer serve their best interests. But the truth is, everybody is different, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach. Alternatives to walking offer gentle and adaptable ways to stay engaged with movement regardless of ability or pace. Sometimes the environment itself discourages change. I have seen communities where seniors have little access to spaces or programs that promote alternative activities. When options are limited or non-existent, the mind quickly convinces itself that nothing else is possible. Even when opportunities exist, if they are not welcoming or inclusive, the fear of exclusion or embarrassment prevents participation. The psychological barrier here is one of belonging. Without a sense of welcome and safety, trying something new feels like stepping into a cold, unfamiliar world. All these barriers stem from deeply human places: fear, pride, resignation, confusion, and comparison. But they are not insurmountable. With the right encouragement and understanding, seniors can be helped to see beyond these walls. I have witnessed this transformation many times. When a trusted friend gently invites an elder to a simple chair exercise class, when a community creates a warm, welcoming environment where mistakes are met with laughter rather than judgment, the shift begins. Slowly but surely, that fearful, hesitant heart opens to new possibilities. The mind begins to shed old misconceptions and replace them with curiosity and hope. I remember a dear woman in my neighborhood, Mrs. Evelyn, who had long insisted that walking was the only exercise she needed. She was wary of seated yoga or balance classes, convinced they were useless. But one day a friend coaxed her to attend a gentle stretching group. At first she was stiff and doubtful, yet over weeks her mood lifted, her confidence grew, and soon she was the first to greet newcomers with a bright smile. She found joy in the slow, deliberate movements and the friendships forged there. It was not just her body that changed, but her entire outlook on life. She came to realize that movement could be graceful and kind, not just strenuous. So if you ask what prevents seniors from adopting alternatives to walking, know this: it is a mix of fears and false beliefs, of pride and resignation, of feeling left out or not good enough. But behind these barriers lies a yearning for connection, for purpose, and for health that transcends the physical. The role of those who care, family, friends, communities, is to gently break down these walls with patience, kindness, and encouragement. There is a beautiful truth in aging. It is never too late to explore new ways to move, to grow, and to find joy. Sometimes the heaviest weight to lift is not in the muscles, but in the mind. When that burden is eased, when the heart opens, seniors can step into a world of new possibilities beyond the familiar footsteps of walking. And in that world, they find not just health, but a vibrant, joyful life that carries them forward with grace and strength. How can caregivers, families, and healthcare providers support seniors in integrating these powerful alternatives into daily life for sustained well-being? To speak about caring for our elders, those treasured souls who have traveled far and wide on the road of life, is to speak about something close to my heart. I have seen many seasons come and go, and through it all, I have learned that the journey of aging is not walked alone. It takes a village, a circle of love and support made up of caregivers, families, and healthcare providers. When it comes to helping seniors embrace powerful alternatives to walking, those gentle exercises, community activities, and meaningful engagements that keep body and spirit alive, the role of these pillars of support is not just important, it is vital. If we wish for our elders to flourish, to sustain their well-being in mind, body, and soul, then those who stand beside them must act with patience, understanding, and a kind of gentle persistence. From the start, caregivers and family members must remember that respect and listening are the foundations of all support. You cannot guide or encourage someone without first understanding their fears, desires, and limitations. Too often, well-meaning efforts can feel like pressure or intrusion to a senior who values their independence. So the first step is to sit down, look into their eyes, and listen deeply. Ask what they enjoy, what they feel comfortable with, and what holds them back. This simple act of empathy builds trust and opens the door for honest conversations. When seniors feel heard and respected, they are more willing to explore new ways to move and engage. It helps immensely to introduce alternatives gently and naturally, rather than as a sudden, overwhelming change. I have watched many seniors respond better when a new activity is presented as a small experiment, something to try just once or twice without pressure. Caregivers and family can frame it as a shared adventure. For example, inviting an elder to join in a seated yoga session or a light stretching routine together transforms the experience into a bonding moment. It becomes not a task imposed, but a chance for connection. This shared participation also models the activity as safe and enjoyable, easing anxieties about trying something unfamiliar. Healthcare providers hold a special place in this circle. Their expertise carries weight and reassurance. When a trusted doctor or therapist suggests a particular alternative exercise or community program, seniors are more likely to take it seriously. Providers who take the time to explain the benefits in clear, compassionate language empower seniors and their families alike. They should avoid medical jargon and instead speak of the joys and freedoms these activities can bring. Better balance to prevent falls, improved mood, greater flexibility for daily tasks. When providers recommend specific programs tailored to individual needs and encourage follow-up, it plants a seed of motivation that caregivers and families can nurture. But recommendations alone are not enough. Consistency and encouragement are the soil in which these seeds grow. Caregivers, families, and healthcare workers must gently remind and motivate seniors without nagging. A warm word of praise after a gentle exercise session, a note about how well they did, or simply acknowledging their effort can light a fire of pride and determination. I have seen how such positive reinforcement can turn a reluctant participant into a devoted one. Remember, it is the small victories, the ability to stand a little longer, to join a chat group, to laugh during a simple game, that build confidence and joy over time. Creating an environment that supports these alternatives is also crucial. For caregivers and families, this means arranging living spaces to be safe and inviting for movement. Clear walkways, sturdy chairs, and accessible exercise props make a world of difference. More than that, it means setting a tone of activity and engagement throughout the day. When an elder sees those around them staying active, reading, chatting, or playing music, it encourages them to join in rather than retreat into passivity. The atmosphere of a home or care facility can either inspire vitality or foster lethargy. Choosing to cultivate life and movement is a conscious act of love. Social connection, as I have learned, is perhaps the greatest motivator of all. Caregivers and families can help seniors integrate alternatives to walking by linking them with community resources and peer groups. It is one thing to exercise alone and another to join a friendly class where laughter and camaraderie flow freely. Healthcare providers can play a part here by connecting seniors to local programs such as gentle yoga, Tai Chi, or art therapy groups. Families can facilitate transportation or attend events alongside their loved ones. In this way, movement becomes intertwined with joy and friendship, not a chore, but a celebration of life. Patience, my friend, is a gift we must give abundantly. Change does not happen overnight, especially when it involves breaking old habits and fears. Some days the elder may refuse to participate or express doubt. Caregivers and families must meet these moments not with frustration, but with understanding. Sometimes the best support is simply being present, offering a hand, and waiting for the right moment to try again. Persistence tempered with kindness can soften the hardest resistance. Technology, too, can be a powerful ally if introduced thoughtfully. Video exercises designed for seniors, virtual support groups, and reminder apps can help maintain motivation and structure. But again, the key is gentle guidance and assistance to navigate these tools so they do not become sources of confusion or frustration. A caregiver patiently showing how to join an online class or a family member sitting together to follow a guided meditation can open new worlds of possibility. I recall the story of an old friend, Mr. Albert, who was initially reluctant to try anything beyond his daily walks. His daughter and caregiver gently introduced him to chair exercises and mindfulness, breathing through short videos. They encouraged him with praise and even joined in. Over time, Albert's mood brightened, his balance improved, and he began attending a local senior activity group where he made new friends. The change was slow but profound. What made the difference was the consistent, loving support that met him where he was and helped him step forward at his own pace. Ultimately, the integration of these powerful alternatives into daily life requires a symphony of effort from everyone involved. Caregivers provide the day-to-day encouragement and assistance. Families bring love, motivation, and companionship. Healthcare providers offer guidance, reassurance, and tailored plans. Together, they create a safety net and a launching pad for seniors to explore new paths toward health and joy. And let us never forget the most important element: respect for the elders' autonomy and spirit. Supporting seniors is not about control or pushing agendas, but about walking beside them with patience, empathy, and hope. It is about seeing them not just as patients or dependents, but as whole people with wisdom, dreams, and the capacity to grow. So if you are a caregiver, a family member, or a healthcare provider, remember this: your role is both humble and heroic. By gently opening doors, offering warm hands, and speaking words of encouragement, you help elders rediscover strength beyond their steps. You help them weave new patterns of movement and connection that nourish body, mind, and heart. In doing so, you honor their journey and add chapters of grace and vitality to their story. And that, my friend, is the greatest gift of all. If you liked today's discussion, don't forget to like the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with every video we release. And yes, don't forget to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments. Every comment is special to us. Your feedback helps us improve further. We'll continue to meet you in every new video on this channel, so until next time, take care.